Good afternoon, thanks for joining us right here on Midday, Kentucky. And we're sorry we were laughing as we were coming off the weather, but I've spilled something on my shirt which I didn't know about. You ripped your tights, so you've had to put jeans on. Yeah. We're a mess, people. I'm schwitzing like no tomorrow, so I got my fan back.
You know, it is Wednesday, it's hump day, we're just plowing through the week.
It's hump day, it's been busy. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm all put together today, not like some people.
And I was just thinking maybe that was the Krispy Kreme I had from the meeting.
I don't know.
At 7 a.m. David Goldman, who's coming on the show. I think I ate a Krispy Kreme.
It looks like a Frosty.
It probably was. Anyway, it is what it is. Hey, I've told you that me coming from a country that still hails the Queen,
right.
And I don't mean me. So, you know, it's always about the royal wedding and we'll always give you updates. But at this point, the royal wedding will almost certainly be televised. TMZ reports cameras will be allowed in St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. And if all goes to plan, this will be the third televised royal wedding. Now, the first wedding being, of course, Diana and Prince Charles back in 1981. And more recently with William and Kate in 2011. Here's the thing, and you told me, Katie, that you're not too interested in the royal family. But guess what? 23 million Americans watched Kate and William get married, and they're predicting that even more will watch the future Duchess
Meghan Markle.
Thank you. Well, she will be the Duchess, Duchess Meghan and Prince Harry, because she is American. So they are predicting more than 23 million. That's the latest update, people, on the royal wedding.
Thank you,
Troy.
Thank you for that. Now, this is something that you wanted to, which I've been watching online, but...
Well, so Troy has been doing this just bizarre thing as it's been starting to get cold. Every day he wears a T-shirt and a huge scarf.
Well, no,
but he has so many scarves, so it's a different scarf every single day, but always with a T-shirt.
He does.
The scarves are not what's odd. To me, it's that you're doing it with a T-shirt.
Well, it's not cold. Let me explain this, people.
Please do.
Fashion-forward people in Sydney, Australia, where it's not quite cold enough to wear a big puffy jacket. So we wear a scarf and the T-shirt with a fabulous cool pair of jeans and a great boot. All right? And a smart looking haircut.
Yeah.
But, so here, I still love the cold, so I literally walk around in a T-shirt and a fabulous scarf.
Well, I wanted to know if you would walk around in this that I saw online. This is
oh
my goodness.
Is that a skivvy?
Giant sock scarf. Now, it goes for €200 online, which is about $235. Troy, would you wear this?
No, this was not the one I thought you
Yes.
It looks like a leg warmer.
I was kind of concerned when we brought this up in the pre-show meeting. Troy said, I was going to send this. I've been looking at that scarf.
That's not the one I was thinking.
He really would like this.
No. There's a really fabulous cable.
That is cool.
Well, that's more of a dress.
You can do whatever you want. You fold it however you want.
Do the arms pop out?
No, but it's more of a dress, and it's what we'd call a cow neckline. So see how it's drooping down on the sides, and you could pull that over the shoulder, and you would call that a cow neckline.
I think it's
a cow. Like a Miu-Miu.
I think it's a cow neckline straight jacket is what I'm looking at.
You think it's a muumuu?
Yeah.
You think
I would do that like on the couch. You know how they're selling those like mermaid blankets and things that people are laying in? I would put something like that on my couch. So like,
I need my arms out though. I rip holes on either side.
I don't want that one.
Okay.
So take that off
I like
it. I'll show you the one that I'd like.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really gorgeous, everyone. Hey, I want to ask you this question. I'm a little bit confused about this. Recording artist Pink doesn't want her children to be defined by their gender. So she's raising her kids in a label-less household. So what do you think about this idea? Do you think it's healthy for the kids? And I don't quite understand label-less households. So she's not saying she's a girl. She doesn't say... I'm a little bit confused.
I'm kind of confused by this too.
I think, in general, if you're asking about raising children label-less, I think that to some extent, not perpetuating gender stereotypes, so you have to fulfill those roles. But I don't know how you would go completely label-less, because what about when you're just referring to her? Oh, Anna's here, she likes red.
Right.
Would you say, it likes red? You wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, I think those now pronouns come out.
Actually, just let me read you this. Okay, now she started this conversation around gender and sexual orientation started after her daughter, Willow, shared her future wedding plans with her mum, which the pop singer found pretty hilarious. Willow told me she is going to marry an African woman. Pink said, I was like, great, you can teach me how to make African food. And she's like, sure, mama, and we are going to live with you while our house is getting ready. Now, I think this girl is 6.
Yes.
They don't understand that.
Right, right.
Well, it's just like when you're 6, you say, I'm going to marry Santa Claus.
Right,
I'm going to marry
exactly.
my dad. You just, when you're little.
I don't
it's
take
just-
that too seriously.
Yeah, that's not serious.
But if she says it's genderless, then why does she refer to her as she?
Yeah, that's what I was
That's what I
pointing
don't
out.
understand. I mean, how can you, exactly what Katie was saying, you know, it? You don't want to call your child
And
it.
I love Pink and I love her music.
I do too,
and
I do too. I'm a big fan.
I don't know why she felt the need to come out
Yeah.
and talk about this, considering a 6-year-old child, I just don't think understand what that genderless word
even means,
terminology means.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I just think on principle, not filling them into that gender role and like forcing to wear
Yeah.
pink or play with dolls or you have to play with trucks, letting them kind of figure that out on their own.
Right.
But I think if you go to the opposite extreme and you don't even say she or her or it, then you're kind of polarizing them from society. So I think encouraging you to make your own decisions, but I don't think you have to completely go without
Yeah.
gender labels.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that also leads into a story that's been in the press quite a bit lately, especially over the last 10 days. And you're talking about this business, the business in Colorado. is
Yes,
it?
yes, it's a bakery.
Yeah.
that
Tell us the background again.
Okay, so it's the story's out of Colorado. It's a bakery that refused a homosexual couple from buying a wedding cake, and they based.
This was a few years ago, and now it's
Yes,
come up
and
again.
now it's going to the Supreme Court on Tuesday. So my question, you know, when I
So
looked
the
at this,
sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I just want to be clear in my head. The bakery or the business owner.
Yes, it's a
who-
public business.
Okay, refused to make a wedding cake for,
a homosexual couple,
Okay.
same-sex couple,
and then the couple sued them.
yes, they're
Yeah,
taking him. to
Well,
court.
a little more background on
Okay,
that. The cake shop owner said he would sell them anything in the store. He came out saying, I would love to sell you the cookies, the brownies, whatever. Personally, I am against gay marriage, and that's why he wouldn't do the cake.
Right.
That went to court. The cake shop owner lost, and the cake shop owner now does not sell wedding cakes.
To
because
anyone.
To anyone, because he says he would now be forced to sell the wedding cakes for gay weddings. And he doesn't believe in that, so now he's not selling any cakes. So that's sort of settled in Colorado, but now
Okay.
that case is going to the Supreme Court.
And he took a huge hit financially
Yeah, he said
for
it's
that.
40% of
Yep.
his business was wedding cakes, and now he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's, you know, when you start citing, you know, when I looked at this, I get the religious beliefs, I get that. But if you own a public business, you can't discriminate. I truly feel you cannot discriminate against any person whatsoever, regardless of your religious beliefs. You have to be able to serve everyone and anyone, because if you don't, then all of a sudden, where does the line get drawn? You know, if it's against your religion for premarital sex, good Lord, you're not going to have very many customers at all. If it's against your religious belief for interracial marriage,
You threw me there. I'm like, what did she just...
but you know what I mean? It's
said-
like if
okay.
it's against your religious belief, where do you draw the line? That's my question for you all.
You
Where do you
threw me
think?
there for a second. I'm like, are we buying sex before we're married now? Like-
No, but you know what I mean? It's like there's a, you know, if they don't believe in that, in their religious beliefs,
Look,
that's my question. Where do you draw the line?
I'll
then?
say this as a previous business owner. You have a choice as an owner of a business. It's your right to refuse business, no matter what it is. In my shops in Australia, no children were allowed. Okay, that was perfectly suitable. And also, if you wanted to bring them in, you were charged adult prices. So that eliminated most of the people that wanted to come in. But I did have well-mannered children.
Yeah.
There are restaurants that don't serve children, but yet adults still go. Should you not go to that restaurant because the owner has invested maybe $1 million in building that business, and he has a choice or she has a choice to say, I don't want to serve children. I don't want children in my restaurant. Would you not support that restaurant then?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair comparison because I think that
Yeah,
this
it
is.
No, her statement was, I want to just say, her statement was, does a business owner have the right to determine who he sells to?
But here you do not in this country. You do not have the right to discriminate or refuse service based on race, religion, creed,
they have
genders
here
like
that.
that.
Don't
But that's
allow
not
children.
race, religion, creed. Those are the protected classes of people. So you do not have the right to refuse business on that. But then people are citing you do have the right with their religious beliefs, where I think that protected class, children, doesn't fall
Okay.
into that. So I think that just legally, but morally, I agree with you.
Who's that country clerk that we had here in Kentucky that
Kim Davis.
has
Kim Davis.
refused to sign the wedding papers?
Yes.
She was an employee of the state, and yet she refused to sign the paperwork.
Right.
Where does that stand? Because it all folds in. She's working for the state, who shouldn't be passing those judgments.
But I think that
Is that the
that comes
same-
into the same
Yeah.
argument, what's happening with Roy Moore now. The argument for most people is not that you agree with him or you agree with Kim Davis, it's that the voters should decide. So if you don't agree with what Kim Davis
She's
is
an
saying,
elected official.
do not vote for her as
you're
county
right.
clerk.
Okay,
Do not
no.
vote for Roy Moore. So that's what people are saying. I think that comes down to
Right.
whether you want the government to tell you you have to serve these people, or should that rights rely on the people to now we will refuse to go and patronize your business. We'll refuse to vote for you.
I love you're the voice of reason.
Oh.
She is. She really is.
Because I just would have gone that way with this conversation.
Well, personally, for me, I just wouldn't shop there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm fine with that guy to
I-
have his
right.
religious
I don't
beliefs, but
think
it
the
wouldn't be
guy-
somewhere I'd want to buy the cake.
I don't think the guy, look, do we really care? Like, as an openly gay man, I spent 3 years in Utah, where first openly gay man on Utah television. My co-anchor was the first African American in the history of Utah TV. Do you imagine the hate mail that we used to get? It was tough. But I didn't not go to church on Sundays because the Mormon faith didn't believe in homosexuality. I chose to still go to that church and take what I got from the minister and out of it. I think if you have an open mind and this shopkeeper makes darn good cake, go buy it.
You can't buy a wedding cake there anymore, though. He doesn't
I
do
know,
it.
but
Yep, that's
you
right.
also
Gotta go
don't-
somewhere else.
I also want to say this, as an openly gay man, you don't have to go into a shop, okay, and I'm just saying this so you can email me if you want to. I necessarily wouldn't go into a shop as that openly gay man and make a big deal about, hey, me and my boyfriend are getting married, and I just wouldn't make that big deal about
Well,
it.
this couple went in to sign up for a cake tasting together. So it was
Okay.
obvious they were a gay couple because the couple usually goes to do the tasting. So
Yeah.
they didn't, come in to like show up the guy. He just, I guess, just refused. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how the Supreme Court rules on that.
Well,
know,
can
it
I
is
just
gonna be
say, any
interesting.
sophisticated gay man doesn't need to go in for cake testing. We know what we like and what's the latest trend. We don't need to taste anything.
You could do a donut. But you could do the donut cake that we've showed.
That is true.
Donut
Hey, everyone,
cake.
if you like live country music, stick around for performances by Ben Rue. Later in the show, learn how you can win your financial game, everyone, from the professionals out at JT Davis Asset Management. Keep it right here.